Hi there, this is Tafia, and welcome to the Wrestling Time Post Show. It is Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, and tonight I'll be talking about AEW's Dynamite's 200th episode. We have quite a few things to talk about, because tonight was a really good show, and honestly, there's not a thing I really disliked about tonight's show. But let's kick things off talking about RVD. He made his AEW debut tonight, and if you guys remember last week, it was originally supposed to be Jack Perry who called out Jerry Lynn. And of course, Jerry Lynn came out and he said that he's not medically cleared to compete, and that because no doctor would clear him to compete. So he said he took it upon himself to call an old friend from ECW who still wrestles till this day. And you know who it is? It's the whole effing show, RVD. He came out to his old ECW theme, Walk by Pandora, and he got in Jack Perry's face, and of course Jack Perry tried to cheap shot him with the chair, but that failed. Later on in the night, Renee Paquette interviews RVD, and we find out that the reason he was there was because he heard Jack Perry running his mouth, and he's challenging Jack Perry for that FTW title. And we find out it's going to be an FTW rules match. Or he calls him Jungle Jerk. So I was very surprised to see RVD tonight. Was not expecting him. But what are you guys' thoughts on RVD making his debut tonight? Now, of course, I talked about this last week, they could do a whole type of legend killer gimmick with Jack Perry. He could, since he holds the FTW title, he can do his own version of the legend killer. He'll kill all these ECW legends. So who would be after RVD? Maybe Sabu. Sabu has been in AEW before. So, but again, what were your thoughts on RVD making his debut here tonight? And of course, him challenging Jack Perry to an FTW rules match for that FTW title. So let's talk about the second thing too that happened tonight. Hikaru Shida winning her second AEW Women's World title. It was the main event for the AEW Women's Championship. Was Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida. Now, the match wasn't bad. I actually did like the match. And now, I really thought that Toni Storm was going to win after. There's this one spot where Saraya slides the kendo stick into the ring, and she was about to hit Toni Storm, but she has a change of heart, and she hits Ruby Soho. And while that's happening, the Toni Storm spray paints Shida in the face with, and of course ref doesn't see. So I thought it was over right there, but she ended up kicking out, and so Hikaru Shida did win. I'm actually kind of happy for Shida because the last time she became champion, it was not in front of fans. She didn't get her moment with the fans, so I'm really happy that she's getting her moment with the fans. She did previously talk about how she won the title and there was no fans there. So really happy she got that moment. Now, it's quite interesting that they're giving the title to Hikaru Shida, because I honestly think where they're going with this is, they're going to be in London for All In. I think they're going to set up Hikaru Shida versus Saraya for that AEW Women's World title. Because it wouldn't have made sense if Toni Storm won. And how do you do Toni Storm versus Saraya? Makes the most sense to take the title off of Toni Storm and give it to Hikaru Shida. And then we have Shida versus Saraya. If Jamie Hayter hadn't gotten injured, I honestly think it would have been Jamie Hayter versus Saraya for that AEW Women's World title. The last major thing one of the last major things I'm going to talk about before I get into the show review is this MJF promo. So, MJF is really good at cutting promos, and I have to say this was a babyface promo tonight. Some of the things that he mentioned, obviously, were he still calls the fans devil worshippers. Oh, hey. He mentioned his ADHD And he talked about all the other disorders that he came with, about how he's been abused, lied to, cheated on. You know, he remembers those kids that threw quarters at him and called him Jew boy. He says that being a scumbag is too easy, but getting booed and getting people to hate him is also easy. Now he talks about how one person in particular who taught him to trust can be vulnerable, and that he can have a friend, and that person, according to him, is one of the best pro wrestlers in the world, and his best friend, Adam Cole, baby. So one of the interesting aspects that happens during this is that MJF tells Adam Cole that, you know, he promised him a title shot, win, lose, or draw. He says that Adam Cole doesn't deserve a match. Not just any match, but the match in front of the most historic crowd in main event for All In. So here's something interesting to note. Actually, two things. So Cole signs a contract, and he tells MJF he loves him. And when they hug, you can see Adam Cole doing that gesture, almost looked like he was gonna basically telling MJF to stab him in the back, which is similar to what he did to Roderick Strong. I do apologize for that. So Adam Cole didn't read that contract. And that's very telling, because what's in that contract exactly? Could it be a match for the AEW World Title at All In, or is there something else in that contract? Something that MJF did not tell Adam Cole, because if you look at that scene, he just quickly signs that. He doesn't even bother reading it, and you should never sign things if you don't read. So backstage, you see Roderick Strong, he's not happy, like he's throwing stuff around, and he's approached by Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, aka the Kingdom or OGK. And Matt Taven tells him that Adam Cole always forgets his friends. So it's very interesting that they say that, especially because Adam Cole was part of the Kingdom with them back in the day. And I did talk about this way back when they were doing the trios tournament. I said that Adam Cole should have been paired up with Mike Bennett and Matt Taven for that, but that didn't happen. So there's another layer to this. But I'm so curious, what did you guys think of MJF's babyface promo? MJF's contracts are like contracts that use call-outs. You gotta read the fine print. Yeah, you definitely gotta read that fine print. What do you guys think of his babyface promo? What do you guys think is in that contract? Is it a contract for the title shot? Is it not? Who's gonna turn on who? I think it's much more predictable if MJF turns on Adam Cole. But now, see, we're expecting Adam Cole to turn here. So I don't know who's gonna be the heel in this feud. Who's gonna be the face? That's what intrigues me. That's what I'm curious about. But very good segment between MJF and Adam Cole, and I personally cannot wait for All In. So tonight's Dynamite, was the 200th episode, and they brought back the old set, and they bought the different color. MJF will turn on Cole, probably, maybe. I just feel like that's too predictable. But you know what? Now everybody's expecting Adam Cole to turn on MJF, so we gotta wait and see. So I really did enjoy this match, and one of the things I liked was that story that they're telling with Chris Jericho. So like, there's this one spot where Takeshita mocks Daniel Garcia. And then, like, at the end, Don Callis hits Daniel Garcia with the bat while the ref is distracting. Chris Jericho spots this, and he does not seem happy. He has, like, this shocked expression. Let me see. Or Roderick Strong will turn on Cole. Maybe that's a possibility, especially since he was approached by the Kingdom. I could see that. And, like, Chris Jericho hesitates here. He hesitates to get the pin. And so he does end up getting the pin. So him and Takeshita are victorious, and like when it goes backstage, he's approached by Renee Paquette. But before he can even say anything, Matt Menard approaches him and tells him it's going to be a mandatory Jericho Appreciation Society meeting, and he has to be there. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with this. I mean, like, I don't think Jericho was too happy that Don Callis did that. But I don't know. Part of me kind of thinks Jericho's going to stay with the JAS ultimately in the end. I think that's going to happen. I don't think he's going to go with Don Callis after that. Tony Khan comes on he makes an announcement. He's basically thanking the fans and says they're celebrating an important milestone. You know, and it's crazy. It's only been 4 years. I remember the first AEW Dynamite episode. We're going to three-way anything goes matches. Trent Baretta versus Penta Cero Miedo versus Jon Moxley. And like, this was a really good match. I actually really enjoyed this match. Oh my god, like, let me see. Toni Khan's on it. Really? You thought so? There's this one spot where like Jon Moxley just like poor Trent Baretta he just raked his face with that barbed wire. And like Penta is hitting everybody with like trash can. Probably my spot in this match was when Trent superplexed Jon Moxley through 2 tables. Or the other spot I liked was when Penta did the avalanche destroyer to Trent through the table. Of course, you know, Jon Moxley would spill a bag of thumbtacks in here. Trent got the worst out of Mox and Penta. Oh, yeah, he did. Oh, my God. Like, he got busted open during this match. I felt so bad for him. So, Trent Baretta is victorious. He pins Penta. And then, of course, at the end, like, Jon Moxley attacks him. And the BCC come out, as well as Chuck Taylor and Orange Cassidy. Surprised Mox didn't bleed in this. Yeah, that is a surprise that he didn't bleed in this match. Usually he bleeds. I see. A triple threat was crazy. I'm wondering if we'll get Best Friends versus BCC versus Death Triangle at all. And oh, that's an interesting scenario. Now that you think about it, we might get that. Especially after this. But it also feels like they might be setting up Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy, especially because Orange Cassidy did hit Jon Moxley with an orange punch after this. So let me see. I didn't have to do my how many minutes of Moxley bleeds say. That's funny. So after this, like Chuck Taylor says they're gonna finish this on Rampage in a parking lot fight. The last parking lot fight featured Best Friends and versus Santana and Ortiz, and that took place on the September 16, 2020 edition of AEW Dynamite. So that was a really fun match. I like that match. So I'm really looking forward to that parking lot brawl. But I still think that we're going to get Orange Cassidy versus Jon Moxley. I'd be surprised if that doesn't happen. And if it does happen, I think Jon Moxley will take that title off of him. Best match of the night it was. Yeah, definitely. Hands down, best match of the night. Okay. So we get the trios match. The Elite versus Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satan Singh. Which actually ended up being a lot more fun than it was. You know, there was this one spot where like Kenny Omega, he played with Jeff Jarrett's guitar. And so did Nick Jackson. You know, the Hardys came out at the end. Hangman Adam Page hit Jeff Jarrett with the Buckshot Lariat. Brandon Cutler sprayed Karen Jerry with that spray. Maybe Mox versus Orange can be at All Out. Maybe. I definitely could see that. Especially considering these pay-per-views are like, what, a week, 2 weeks apart? But in the end, the Elite are victorious. Let me see. I think you'd want to get Claudio and Pac on one of these cards. Yeah. Satan does nothing, and we're all sick of Jeff Jarrett getting so much TV time. I know I am. Oh, one spot that I liked was when Satan Singh got in, like, I think it was Matt Jackson's face, and he trying to make a tag in both Kenny Omega and and Nick Jackson walk away. That was hilarious. So the Elite are victorious after Omega hits a V trigger to Jay Lethal, followed by a one-wing angel. So some news broke earlier today in Sports Illustrated, and even the Elite revealed it at the end of their match. So in Sports Illustrated today, it was revealed that Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson, and Hangman Adam Page each signed multi-year deals, ensuring that AEW will remain all elite. Let me see. So I love JEFFJARRETT. Ain't he great? Oh my god. Only thing good about Satan is selling super kicks from the Bucks. Okay. So yeah, so Hangman does announce that the Elite have re-signed with AEW. And he says that they're happy to be there and that here's to the next 200. Kenny Omega says that they'll be seeing more of them, whether it's on Ring of Honor, Rampage, Dynamite, or even Collision. And the crowd kind of boos. And of course, he does his signature goodbye. So which I thought was a member Vince Russo came back to WCW for Jeff Jarrett. So both Fightful Select and Sports Illustrated confirm that Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks will reign as EVPs in AEW. So here in Sports Illustrated, it says, in addition to their work on screen, Omega and the Bucks will remain executive vice presidents. They've been in that role since AEW's creation in 2019 and will continue working to elevate the company even higher into wrestling, into the wrestling promotion. And Fightful Select backs that up too. Fightful Select also reports that when asked about the length, they were told that one of the deals was at least 4 years, but aren't sure if they're all the deals match up. The deals were completed over the last couple of weeks. So I'm not surprised they re-signed with AEW. I mean, like, they are the E in AEW. They put the elite in All Elite Wrestling. I think that the chances of them going to WWE were slim to begin with anyways. So it's no surprise there, honestly. Okay. So you get kind of like a Swerve Strickland segment in which featuring AR Fox, and AR Fox says that the reason for him attacking Darby Allin was because they didn't talk for like 5 years, and that if they were so close, Darby never said thank you for everything AR Fox did to him. And then it cuts to like Swerve Strickland, AR Fox. They go to Buddy Wayne's training school, and they show Nick Wayne. They basically attack Nick Wayne, and so poor Nick Wayne is busted open, and he's laying there all bloodied and battered. And here's the thing: they call Darby Allin, and like Swerve Strickland says that they're the ghosts of Allin's past, and they're gonna haunt him. Like, I'm surprised he called him. Like, he should have just FaceTimed the guy. You want to show Darby what they did to Nick Wayne? FaceTime the dude. Let's see. He says, if they want to elevate the company, then they need to book the Elite versus CMFTR for All In, did Omega versus Punk at All Out. Oh, I remember you talking about that, JJ. I remember you talking about that. Vince Russo came back to WCW for his bro Jeff Jarrett. I heard Russo was bro. So, you know what this is probably going to lead to? A tag team match. It's probably going to be Darby Allin and Nick Wayne versus Swerve Strickland and AR Fox. Maybe at All In. We get the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match. It is Aussie Open versus Komander and El Hijo del Vikingo. This was a really great match. Always happy to see Aussie Open, Komander, and El Hijo del Vikingo. I mean, yes, the size difference was noticeable, but Komander and El Hijo del Vikingo, they made up with it with their speed. Well, two of my favorite spots was when they did the double moonsault to Aussie Open on the outside, and then they did the double 450 splash to Mark Davis. So I thought those were two really cool spots, but this match wasn't great. Of course, it's no surprise Aussie Open does retain. I knew Aussie Open were going to retain. All missing was Will Ospreay. Yeah, the only one missing is Will Ospreay. So I'm going to stop my review there because the main event was Toni Storm versus Hikaru Shida, which I already talked about. But honestly, tonight I really enjoyed tonight's show. I can't really complain about tonight's show. I really can't. There's not one thing I disliked about tonight's show. I liked everything. So if I had to give this a rating, honestly, I wouldn't mind giving this a Shawn Spears perfect 10 out of 10. Shawn Spears 10 out of 10 show. Yeah, it definitely is a Shawn Spears perfect 10 out of 10. It was a hell of a show. I cannot complain about it. I cannot find one thing I disliked. So yeah. All right. So with that being said, that concludes my review. As far as tomorrow is concerned, I don't think I may or may not be reviewing SmackDown. I'm going to be doing Simply Predicting with Noah Foster over on his channel. I don't know if that's going to be live though. But if anything, I'll see you guys on Saturday after SummerSlam. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm gonna be reviewing SummerSlam DVR. Actually, I don't have to, because like I get both feeds. I get the East Coast feed and the West Coast feed, so I get to watch it twice. I really don't have to DVR, but it does help. And it is Power Month, as you can tell by my Power Ranger shirt. So if you haven't already done so, make sure you check out my ranks. I did rank all of the Power Ranger themes, from Mighty Morphin to Dino Fury, from my least favorite to my most favorite. So if you haven't done so, please check that out. Next week on Tuesday, I will be releasing my unboxing of the Black and Gold Dino Megazord. So with that being said, you guys, thank you guys all so much for watching and for the continued support. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell so you get notified whenever I go live or drop some new content. And I'll see you guys. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, I'll see you guys Saturday after SummerSlam. Bye.